Okay, divide a segment into two congruent segments. Congruent means the same size and shape. Okay? So to bisect means you divide a segment into two congruent segments. And you bisected when you folded. There's different things that can bisect a segment. Okay, you can bisect a segment with a segment, another segment. You could bisect a segment with a ray, a line, or a plane. You can bisect a segment with a segment, a ray, a line, or a plane. So kind of on a side note, what would you think that you bisected your segment with when you folded your paper? What was that?
Line.
A line. It was a line, wasn't it? Okay. And what it will do is it will intersect a segment at its midpoint. Okay, the midpoint is the point. It's written as an ordered pair. On a segment that divides it into congruent parts. So, you have a segment here. What do you think the M stands for? Midpoint. What do these two little dashes make? What do they represent? Yeah, it shows congruence. Or it shows congruent, how you want to write it. When they have those little slash marks. So this is line CD, and it's bisecting AB. How do I know it's bisecting AB? Because I got these two things here which are showing that the two halves are congruent. If these lines weren't here, I couldn't say that it was bisecting it because I wasn't given enough information. If these two lines weren't here. They have to be here to tell me that these pieces are equal so I can say that it actually is bisecting that segment. Okay? All right, let's see how we use this. This is how we use this information. Okay. This says point M is the midpoint of segment AB. So telling me it's the midpoint, that means I know they're congruent pieces. So what is AM? How long is AM? Jacob? 13. Because they told me it's the midpoint, which means that these are equal. Okay? The midpoint, I'm going to abbreviate midpoint, cuts exactly in half. So be careful when you write this. AM, do not put the line over it because I'm talking about the length of this piece. AM is 13. This would be 13, and that would be 13. And I know they're congruent because of the hash marks there. Okay? All right, let's do another one. Line L is a segment bisector of segment AB. Find the value of X. Ooh, don't give me the value yet. Just tell me how you would start it. What would you do? Right on. 5x, I know this piece is equal to this piece because line L is bisecting that segment. So I would write 5x equals 35, like Jacob said. And then divide by 5x is what they're asking me for, is equal to 7. Okay? I don't feel like there's enough examples quite in these notes, so don't turn the page yet. I know, but I looked at your homework and I decided I had to show you a couple other things. So right here. Well, I did. Before I gave it to you, I looked at it. Draw a segment MN. And then line L with a P here. And then 2 hash marks and a 15. It's not too bad. The hash marks tell you what? What do the hash marks tell you? That they're equal. So what is MP equal to? 15. MP is equal to 15. Because of the hash marks. All right, let's do another one. Yeah. Is M the midpoint of YZ? Well, let's see. I'm going to draw you a picture here. So I have this. This. Don't get ahead of me. Is M the midpoint? We got 2 problems here. What's one problem? Jay, I know you know, but I'm going to pick on somebody else. What's one reason we can't tell, Derek? Right. No hash marks. I don't really know what they're formally called, but I'm going to call them no hash marks. So I can't say for sure whether they're congruent. And the other problem is YZ a segment? No. It's not. No, because YZ is not a segment. B/ is because. Is not a segment. How's this for good geometric words? Because it's bent. Because it's bent. It's not a segment. Okay?
That's how I see it.
You're going to be determining maybe the midpoint and using a segment to figure out how long each piece is. Or you're going to be calculating the midpoint from the midpoint formula. Ready? So, when you're given 2 points on a segment, now you say, well, where do 2 points come from? They're referring to 2 points on a graph. Okay? 2 points on a graph. Use this formula. M, make a big parenthesis. What do you think the M stands for? Midpoint. Okay? And then you write this down. x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, and close that. So, if we're finding the midpoint, we're finding a what on the graph? A point. How do you write a point? As a what? As an ordered pair, right? X, Y. So what we're actually doing here when we're using this, I'm going to direct you over to the board over here. All right, right here. Find the coordinates of the midpoint of AB. So I need to label this my first point. Almost done. X1, Y1. That's because it's point 1, my first point. And x2, y2 is my second point. Okay? Now let's just plug it into the formula. Add your x's together.
Spencer Barron?
Yeah. Divide by 2.
That's 4.
Okay, and then add your y's together, which is 2 plus 4, and divide by 2.
4, 3.
Oh, this. Oh, I know how to do this.
And then 8 over 2 and 6 over 2. And I'm just going to come up here.
12 and 3.
And the midpoint is 4, 3.
I win.
Okay? It's written as a what? What is this called? An ordered pair, because it's a point on the graph, right? Okay? So when you're drawing, right, okay. What I want you to do right now is do the same thing with both of these on your own. Try it, and I'll show you the answer in a minute. Just try it on your own.